Points here pre-season race. Tonight we will be seeing the drivers race around the historic Silverstone circuit in Britain, but there is a twist to this. It's not the standard layout that we are all used to see. We will be going around the short layout of Silverstone, also known as the international layout. But before we go into the stream fully, I'd like to welcome my new co-commentator for this season, Jamie.
Hello mate, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm looking forward to this season. It should be good. Obviously, Silverstone's short for a pre-season race. I think it's the first time one hub done a short track, and it's going to throw up some nice surprises. I think quite short lap times, and obviously it should be a fun one.
It's going to be very different to what we're used to be seeing in this league, and 100% race, so that it kind of feels like a 50% one, but there's definitely going to be a lot of action.
Yeah, there is for sure. And on this track, obviously, with it being 52 laps, which is actually the full length Silverstone track, and obviously it's only got 8 corners. It's 1.6 miles long. It's got 2 left-handed corners, 6 right-handed corners. It's only got the one DRS zone. That's down the Hanger Straight, which is between turn 4 and turn 5 in this layout, and we expect the average pit loss time to be 25 seconds. When you consider a qualifying lap, I expect around 43 seconds. Do not be surprised to see some guys who are going to pit, especially at the back of the field, they're going to pit and they're going to come out being lapped.
Yeah, that would be very awkward, especially for us, the commentators, and the viewers. And I don't think it would be nice for the drivers, as they will have to oblige with the blue flag rules while being on their outlap.
No, it's going to be bizarre. And obviously qualifying, I think that'll be an issue as well, because we do tend to see normally qualifying at Silverstone, a lot of cars do like to back up between Vale and Club, and well, if you do that in this lobby with such a short lap, I would be not surprised to see a traffic jam in then final 2 corners when qualifying gets underway, which will be very shortly. As we'll quickly mention some of our sponsors this season, we've got some fantastic sponsors this season, and one of our sponsors is Next Level Racing, and they are yet again giving away a GT-like cockpit to a winner of a giveaway that's yet to be announced. But it's not for the Go Get Tough Award this season, it's for a random giveaway. And actually the sponsor for the Go Get Tough Award this season is ERT, and obviously all ERT drivers will get free entry into One Hub Racing.
Yeah, and the other sponsors are also Liam RBS, who provides the trophies for at the end of the season for the drivers, and Vespertine.
Yeah, Vespertine, yeah, they supplies our gaming apparel.
Yeah, and the last one, a new one, Freem Sim Racing. They will be providing sim racing gloves for the driver with the most poles and the driver with the most fastest laps.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised if a few guys, especially at the back field, they keep pitting on the final laps just to get them gloves. Obviously, you do get point fast lap inside and outside top 10. Our point system is unchanged from last season, but of course, this is a pre-season race, so there's no points handed out for this season, for this race, but it's good preparation. I think a pre-season race, you want to see where you stand in the team. Obviously, a few guys yet to decide their teammates, and it might be a good idea to evaluate who your teammates are, as we've got a wet car position, which is not a surprise for Great Britain.
It's going to be very interesting, especially around this short circuit. I doubt anyone really prepared for these conditions.
No, during the hot dry practice, and obviously my pole up for 43 seconds, that goes out the window in this wet session. But I wonder the clouds the clouds look quite bright, so I wonder if it might dry up towards the end of the session. But obviously 80-minute qualifiers, it's going to be quite hard to tell. But yeah, we've got quite a few drivers here. We've got a mix of drivers. We've got 9 drivers who raced in the podium tier last season. We've got 3 drivers who did race in the Prospect Tier Championship. We've got 6 rookies and 2 returning drivers. So with this new tier, we've got sort of a mix of Prospect and podium tier drivers from last season.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, 9 podium tier drivers. That's basically half the grid from last season -1, and of course a lot of returning faces, at least for me, as I did commentate podium tier last season, and of course some very good drivers from Prospect here, Gazaman and Truve both coming 3rd and 2nd last season in Prospect, so it should provide some good racing.
Yeah, Gazaran, it's his first season outside the bottom tier since season 13, as we'll take a lap on board MCFC Boy, who's another guy who raced in the prospect tier last season. He did finish quite low down the prospect tier just on his last season, so we're looking to do better this season. He's got good pace. You see how he does is he comes across the final corner now, down the Lewis Hamilton straight into Abbey. Normally probably quite a fast first corner as he gets curb there, validates his lap already, so he's backed out of it. So maybe try and get another guy. We'll get Truth and RP, the guy who was runner up in the prospect here championship last season. He's come down the Lewis Hamilton straight now into Abbey. Quite a fast corner normally in the dry conditions. Takes it quite well into Farm and then into the village section. Now normally in the village section you turn left here, but you go straight on here into the link, which links to the exit of Beckett's, which will take you onto the hangar straight. Now the hangar straight, normally a lot of overtaking out there. Good deer, the DRS zone. And we're approaching into the Stowe corner, which is an epic corner in the drive. I've seen a few cars battle side by side here. It's such a fun corner to take. It's how he does it. It's quite confident so far. Hits the curve though. Maybe could have been a bit better there. Down the hill towards Vale. Do not be surprised if you dive bombs into Vale corner in the race. That is a club, the final corner. This packed grandstand. Looking forward to this lap by Chief NRP. Cross the line now down Lewis Hamilton Straight. How does he do? He's a 1 minute 50.9. Kick lane quickest on 1 minute 50.6.
Yeah, so of course these drivers are right now setting their banker lap time, so the order will definitely change at the end of the session. And according to Gazaman, we will have a dry race, which is very good for the drivers.
Yeah, it's very good, and it'll give us sort of an idea of pecking order. Obviously, with a short track, the grid will be very tight, but a dry race, we expect some budget seasons. He'll be dry this season, as we've got Epic Scorpion here, I believe, spun it on the end of his flying lap coming out the club corner. So, obviously, he's done a lap there, but his second lap with compromise. And obviously, in the wet conditions, normally in qualifying, you see drivers just do one flying lap, or maybe two. But with the wet weather, you tend to put a bit more fuel in. You don't use as much battery, and I also see some of these guys doing 3 or 4 lap runs on these intermediate tyres.
Yeah, and for the race, just going to mention the tyres at the C3, the soft compound tyres, they will last 30 laps. The mediums will last 44, and the hards will last 53. So technically, the hards could make it to the end of the Grand Prix. But I imagine we'll be seeing a 2-stop from the softs to the softs again and down to mediums.
Yeah, with the hard tyres, I don't think even in the one stop sometimes hard tyres aren't that well used around here. But yeah, I do think that's the correct strategy. It's obviously, as we do mention, that long pit lane, it will be a factor in this race, especially if you try and get in and somehow stay out on the lead lap. It can really help you, but if you get off them blue flags, you will have to get out of the way, because if you don't, you will get penalties. As Jordan and Kip Lane seem to be dominating so far. They've been really good first laps, with Hooky in third place and Alan in fourth.
Yeah, and some early predictions maybe? If you maybe know any drivers from here, who do you think could challenge up there for the podium? I know it's very early, we're only a few minutes into the first pre-season race, but who do you think could shake things up in the order?
Well, I know Aaron JS very well. I was his teammate in season 16. We were in the prospect here, and he was a Mercedes. He did a really good season. He finished third in the championship, and we finished second in the Constructors' Championship. Alan is a really quick driver. He's been in the bottom tier for most of his one-up career, but I believe he's capable of a lot more. And he's obviously back after a season off, and he's on a good lap so far. And Aaron JS could contend, but the likes of Jordan, who I think has improved a lot since the off-season, is definitely a contender. And obviously, Gaza, do not speak Gaza that high up in qualifying. But what Gaza is good at, he is good at keeping out of trouble, avoid them penalties, and if there's a very high penalty attrition, do not be surprised to see Gazaman jump up the order.
Yeah, as you said, Gazaman not the man for qualifying, 0 pole positions in his time in one hub, but he does have 4 wins and 17 podiums, so he is definitely the man on the race pace. And for my early predictions, if you want to call them that, I would say the 2 Mercedes drivers, if I'm not mistaken, they are both confirmed for the team, Thomas and Dex Dexter. I watched them both race last season, and I think they could be a very good pairing, especially for the constructors' standings.
Yeah, a good teammates pair and Mercedes are really successful. They're by far the most successful team in one hub racing in terms of championships. And as I mentioned, you mentioned drivers. So I mentioned the 10 drivers that have been handed out team contracts. So in Mercedes, we do have ERT Thomas, who has been given a contract. In Ferrari, it is Aaron JS. In Red Bull, it's Gazzaman. In McLaren, it's Aero Specialist. In Renault, it's ERT Jordan. In Alfa Romeo, it's Ivor Bryn Mike. In Racing Point, it's Felix. In the AlphaTauri, it's Chunders. In the Haas, it's Delta, and in Williams, it's Sir Quinniff. So some good team contracts there, and a few of these drivers have confirmed pairings, but a few haven't. So you may see some guys in cars that may be different next week, because I've been there have been 5 confirmed pairings this year, but the other 5 have yet to be decided. And I think a few guys are waiting for this race to evaluate some drivers, see if they want them to be their teammates.
Yeah, that's going to be important, and it could be very strategic from some drivers who are still waiting to get into a team. So this will definitely be very important for the drivers to see how they match up against everyone else.
Yeah, so you've got Thomas who's spun off on the exit of on the exit of Abbey, I believe that is. He's lost his wing, so he's got to come in and change that full wing. And it could have been worse for him because he looked quite a bad accident. He's in the wall and he's got back wing damage. Not a good start for the Mercedes man.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, he could be doing a lot better in my opinion. 14th place for now, but there's still 10 minutes remaining in this session. So you could do about 10 laps more if you really just went for all flying laps, which I doubt anyone will, but it just shows how many laps you can do. For example, ERT Jordan, he already has done 7 laps in this qualifying session.
Yeah, if this was a dry qualifier session, it'd be easy to be able to do 4 runs, but if it's 4 runs on your 4 sets of soft tyres. But yeah, it's a short track. It's very unusual for one of racing, and there's a lot of action. And yeah, I think they all seem to getting out of each other's way, which is good. Because I was a bit surprised by traffic, but I think the wet weather may mean there's less out laps, so there's more flying laps, so that might help. As ERT Jordan, he's actually done 7 laps in these tyres, so it just shows you they keep on pounding around on lower fuel, and these guys will come in pretty shortly, I guess, and knock the fuel down and go for fresh tyres. And I believe the pole lap, we may get a 48 for pole, I think, look at this.
He could, in truth, he is on a brand new set of inters. I mean, it doesn't really mean that much on the inters. Actually, when I used to race, I rathered my inters to be 2-3 laps old, because that's where I just found them perfect. I could get this fastest lap time. They were up heated and everything, so the drivers might wait for that 2-3 laps to get in their lap.
Yeah, you should do like 2 laps around here. It's basically almost a full lap. So yeah, that's a thing. And the intermediate cars are quite difficult to manage. They do take a while to get to temperature, but when they do get to temperature, you've got to be careful because they can overheat. So there's a bit of a balance act for these drivers. Obviously, they will be running dry setups if it's a dry race. So I believe this wet qualification will just be a matter of holding on to the car and just trying to get the best position possible.
As we see a little bit of traffic there with Bryn Mike on the exit of, according to my track map, it's called the Loop. I never heard that before, as I'm not used to calling him Britain Shirt. So he could have maybe gone in the way of Truth's lap, and he is going to be coming up to Fail and Club, and let's see how he does. Now through the final corner, right behind just me, he could be getting a little bit of dirty air, and he doesn't improve on his lap time.
No, but he's going to get a slipstream down the straight, but I believe he's going to get held up in the corners there. He's going to be a little bit. Yeah, truth for now, he's not bothering me in the first few corners. He's not happy with handling his car. It's looking a little bit twitchy for him, as just get out of the way there. I believe he's maybe on an in-lap.
He could be. I mean, 7 minutes remaining, still a lot of time for these drivers, and if it does not rain at all in the race, I imagine these drivers will be using all 3 of their sets of inters.
Yeah, there's no point using them if it's going to be dry race. You might as well use it now and just get the full exploit the full advantage of it. As Jordan, our pole sitters out on a fresh set of inters, so he's going to go for slightly longer than the rest. He's got Aero Specialist, Scorpion, Aaron also in the pits. Gazza in 5th place. I think he's had a bit of a moment. coming. There's a bit of a moment in the loop section, just getting out of his way, and yeah, it's quite treacherous conditions. And the tracks, I think the track's going to remain wet for the remainder of this contest. You look at this as MCFC spun it coming out of Beckett, so a lot of mistakes. And again, I think Gaz had to take a board action there. Truth had to take, Gaz had to take a board action there because of MCFC's bin, but thanks to Gaz, he wasn't on the lap.
Yeah, just wanted, as it is qualifying, 6 minutes remaining for the pre-season. I will just mention the calendar for season 18. We are going to be starting the season with Montreal, Canada, the Circuit de Jules Villeneuve on the 16th of April. Then we're going to move to Singapore, then China. Then we're going to have a European stint: Belgium, Austria, Spain, Italy, Russia, if you count that as European. I know some people may think it is Asian. And then we have France at the Le Castellet circuit, or the Paul Ricard circuit, and Interlagos to finish the season off, and I think that would be a great season finale.
Yeah, obviously it has been a season finale previously in one hub and in World by F1, and yeah, a bit of weather there. And Brazil's this track, it's probably my favourite tracks on F1. I always did quite well there, and I enjoy watching myself there because there's a lot of action, and it's quite good to overtake, and you've got that long DRS straight in the top of the hill at the final end of the lap, and yeah, that should be a good race. And obviously we've yet to race at Singapore, China, Spain or Russia this season, so they're all new tracks. And Austria has managed to make it on all 3 seasons, because previously Silverstone used to win every season 100 racing on the calendar, but it hasn't made it, the full version hasn't made it this season. So Austria it has managed to make it all 3 seasons, which is pretty good considering there's 22 tracks, only 30 races done. So Austria is obviously a popular driver with the drivers and the directors of the league.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it definitely puts up great racing from what I remember while commentating on one hub, and yeah, it's going to be a very interesting season. When you see tracks such as France or China, you might think, oh, those are going to be boring races, but remember, it's one hub, not for your life, so anything can happen in league racing, and usually league racing is a lot more interesting.
Yeah, we've actually been one of Victory, but Paul Ricard has offered some fantastic races, and I think Paul Ricard's a much better track. Like Mexico, Paul Ricard's a much better track on the game than in real life, and yeah, it should be a fun one. And obviously, I think Russia's a track which I think drivers don't particularly like, but we have made a commitment to ensure we do all 22 tracks are on the game. That's what we're doing, and yeah, we have to get them out of the way at some point. We've managed to get Monaco out of the way in the first season, and Russia's got to be this season. We have to get it in there somehow.
Yeah, and I'm surprised we still haven't seen. We haven't seen Vietnam on this season's calendar. We saw it in season 16 and 17, and those were pretty hectic races. Many of the drivers did not like them, and the directors listened to them, and they removed it for this season.
Yeah, when I drove season 16, I didn't like it. When I compared season 17, I did. And yeah, obviously, last ever time I see Vietnam in one of race, obviously, because it's not on the 2021 schedule, it doesn't look like it's going to return. So Vietnam may be a game-only track, as Aaron JS put second place. He's not that far behind George, so my tip's doing quite well so far.
Yeah, you see many of the drivers now out on track, and many more in the pits, and they will be definitely going out for their out laps now, with only 2.5 minutes remaining in the session. So it could get a little bit clustered here around Silverstone.
Yeah, see, if you get out now, you probably will be able to get two fine laps in. But yeah, the gap between first and last place is a 1.1 seconds. That's to be expected at this circuit, and the gap from pole to 11th place is half a second. So not a huge surprise in length of the track, but good to see. And obviously, we hope the season's as close as it was in the podium tier last season, which was an epic finale at Suzuka.
I must say it was amazing, and hopefully we don't see as much Mercedes dominance as we saw in that tier. I mean, it would be great seeing Dex Dexter and Thomas up top, but maybe not for more than half the races.
Yeah, as Thomas actually improved from last place to seventh, so he's finally got his act together. He's won a few times. He's struggled in the session, but that's a decent lap for him, mate. He'd be happy to get that lap in, and he'd be looking to improve on these. He's got 2 more laps, I think. Well, I wonder if he can improve any further.
Now a lot of drivers are on their outlap, and you can see on the mini map just how many drivers are out on track compared to how small the track is. And a lot of people probably under cooldown laps trying to get in another flying lap. You could even get 2 if you're at the end of the lap. As RNJS retires from the session, he thinks that's the max he will get out of today. And now I'm spectating ERT Thomas, and let's see what he can do through the final corner. And what lap will he produce? It's at 49.685, and that puts him into 5th position.
Yeah, it looks a lot more comfortable in this session. As we had Gazzaman's about to start a lap there, but he's getting blocked up over air specialist. Because what can he do? Can he get the pole position? No, he's down in his lap time as ERT Jordan. He's only going to get 1 lap at this because he's just come out now. So Jordan he's on pole positions, but he's very confident in himself. Just doing 1 lap that's quite confident from Jordan, I think, just to do the 1 lap.
As I'm looking through the order, a lot of these drivers will probably starting their last flying laps and technically ending their first flying laps. As you can see them now all go through the start-finish line and the Lewis Hamilton straight.
Yeah, it's Queen of Spurs off the line, but he's had a bit of a mistake down the corner. He's not going to improve on this lap. No, we've got especially what can he do? Especially with the pole position there, 49.3. So can Jordan beat that? He's down on the first sector, so Jordan may have made a mistake there, leaving it so late. Scorpion at 7th place. I believe Epic Scorpion, yeah, he's in 7th place. What can his teammate Delta do? He's slightly down in his sector 2 time at the moment, makes a bit of a mistake, and I think the track's maybe get a little bit more slippier.
Yeah, it does look like it, and he did not improve. Next is the Alfa Romeo of Hooky. He improved, I don't think he did, maybe slightly. But then I think it's Jordan on a lap, and he did not improve as well. Not too sure who's left to go for a lap. I think it's only Gazaman, and he invalidated his time. So I think these are the results for qualifying tonight.
Yeah, the track got a lot slippy at the end there, for sure. It definitely headed up. In the pole position, we've got Aerospecialist in the McLaren. In 2nd place, we've got ERT Jordan in the Renault. In 3rd, we've got Aaron JS in the Ferrari. In 4th place, we've got Gazaman in the Red Bull. In 5th, we've got Thomas in the Mercedes. In 6th place, we've got Ivor Bryn Mike in the Alfa Romeo. In 7th place, we've got Epic Scorpion in the Haas. In 8th, we've got Dex who's in the Mercedes. 9th, we've got Chief NRP in the Williams. 10th place, we've got Sakunif in the Williams. In 11th place, we've got Delta in the Haas. In 12th, we've got Kip Lane in the AlphaTauri. In 13th, we've got Just Mikey in the Renault. In 14th, we've got Matthias in the Racing Point. In 15th, we've got Chunders, who's also in the AlphaTauri. In 16th, we've got MCFC, who's in the Williams. And in 17th place, we've got Hooky, who's in the Alfa Romeo.
It was definitely a fun and interesting qualifying session. I see Scorpion saying in the chat that the track did get slippier at the end of the session, and I do believe that from what we've seen, and only 1 second separating 1st and 17th just shows how close it is between these drivers.
Yeah, it's very close, and I'm going to quickly ask you, who's your prediction for the win today? I know it's hard to tell, new drivers, just one wet qualify session, but who are you going to call for the win?
I think Jordan could get it. He is starting on the first row of the grid, 2nd position. Behind Aero Specialist, he gets the inside for the first corner. I mean, it is a very high speed one, so he might not get the move done straight away, but he can definitely, in my opinion, he could win this race.
We'll go for my man Aaron. Obviously early today we had the passing of Prince Philip, obviously the husband to the Queen, who died aged 99, and obviously as a tribute to him, we will fall silent for this formation lap.
And now with the race about to go underway, we see Aero Specialist on pole position. It's 4-5 red light out, and we go green in Silverstone. It is Aero Specialist with a decent start. ART Jordan trying to go alongside him into turn 1. Is there going to be any spinners down in the back? No, there isn't. Specialist with quite a big gap into the third turn, and that's Aaron JS into 2nd position. ART Jordan stays down in 3rd, and there's a lot of fighting in the background. Scorpion and Gazaman, they are going side by side down the hangar straight with ART Thomas. He could even go for a move here. No, he doesn't, as we see a lot of drivers going side by side. I think that's Gazaman. Will he make the move? They are still going side by side. Let's see, the Haas and the Red Bull driver, and very respectful from the two of them. The Haas driver stays in front.
Yeah, good start there for him. Yeah, and keep playing at the back. Got in a bit of trouble. He got involved in the collision into the link section. He also got hit again. He got wind damage. Going to have to pit. So keep playing. Not good start from there, but yeah, a good start for Aero Specialist. He managed to hang on to lead there and quite feisty behind. It's quite good to see. Quite feisty race. This short layout, it does encourage more feisty racing.
Yeah, it definitely does. As Gazaman, he is going to be looking for another move on Scorpion. He tried to do it on lap 1. He couldn't quite do it. So could he get some revenge potentially on the Haas driver and get that 4th position? As we saw a little bit up the road, Aaron JS, he got close, very close to the back of the McLaren driver. And we could see a very good fight for the lead tonight.
Yeah, Alan's lost it in Abbott, but thankfully for him, there wasn't too many cars behind him. He managed to hold position, but yeah, Aaron is looking quite feisty, and yeah, he just probably carried a bit too much speed, but he's managed to hang on, and he's going to have DRS. DRS will be online. He's got DRS now down hangar straight. Obviously, with this short lap, this DRS could be extremely powerful. Look how much his game there was pushed already, and he's not far behind. Without that mistake in turn 1, Aaron JS could have been in the lead. Yeah,
not many battles happening right now, as everyone's kind of stuck in a DRS train. Some gaps even being 2-3 tenths. I just wanted to mention the tyre situation, in case you didn't see it on the formation lap, is Ivor, Bryn, Mike on the mediums, so as Trunders and Hookie. Well, Kilplane, he went onto a soft combo of tyres on the first lap, and Matthias is in the pits.
Yeah, Reeves got wind damage. And speaking of Hooky, him and Dexter are banging wheels in the club. Dex has managed to get ahead, but yeah, those two are fallen off the DRS train now, so they may suffer. He's got a tank.
As now Gazaman, he went for the move on Scorpion, and it was very successful. He's up into 4th position. Scorpion, he's going to try to go around the outside. He doesn't quite make it, and Gazaman retains that 4th position, and Scorpion has to concede his position, and he's down to 5th, and he'll be trying to go for a move on the Red Bull driver in the next coming laps.
Yeah, Gaz is really good racecraft, knows how to overtake. Yeah, he did the move there really well there, but obviously with the one DRS zone, Gaza might be vulnerable here because Jordan has managed to pull ahead. So Gaza, he got that move done, but he's got to be careful now. But he's managed to get within a second now. Has he got DRS, Gaza? Man, let's have a look. No, he doesn't. So Scorpion may come back, but Scorpion's also got time. Scorpion with the pressure from ERT Thomas. He's got a good run here, approaching. He's going to go around the outside. He thinks about it, but he's going to surely. He'll send the dive bomb up in here. Surely he's around the outside. He's going to send it around the outside, which should come the inside. Scorpion does manage to hang on, but Scorpion, I think, maybe not as comfortable as the guys around him. This guy's as fast as that.
And I just wanted to mention the first victim of the blue flag situation was Matthias. We saw him yield a lot there, as that's ERT Thomas down the inside of Scorpion, and they're going side by side here now through the loop. And Scorpion, I don't think he'll have DRS. I think the DRS will go to Thomas for this time out. Now overtake mode engaged, and he does not have DRS. It was Scorpion getting it, so he was behind on the DRS detection zone, and now through Sove. Thomas gets 5th position, Scorpion in 6th, Truth, NRP and Mike also battling it out, as there is yellow flags, not sure for what. Truth, NRP now losing the position to Mike, but he's going side by side with Delta now, and Delta, he could be a big winner here, and he could get the Red Bull, because, as he is very vulnerable now going into turn 1. And he makes the position, but Truth now, he's going to try fight back. It just doesn't work, and that's the Red Bull, all the way down to 9th position.
Yeah, brave mangrove move in turn 1. Well done to Doubt there. Good move there, and yeah, penalties everywhere. And that was good racing, obviously. Good racing. It was fair but clean. I think that Sir Quinniff might have a chance of Truth and RP. Obviously, Sir Quinniff, he scored that 1 point last season. He's looking to do more. Going to go around the outside of Truth. Truth does hang on, but Sir Quinniff's all the back of Truth, and he's got to back out there. As Gazerman, I believe, he's got past Jordan, so Gazerman's on the charge.
Yeah, so while one Red Bull is falling down, another one is climbing up. He is up into 3rd position, up into the podium spots, but Jordan is right at the back of him, only 3 tenths separating the two of them. And you can see a big battle here for the last podium position, or else we could see a bit of a stalemate, as we are seeing with RNJS and Aero Specialist. Well, now RNJS, he is very close to the back of the McLaren, and will he go for the move? Yes, he does, down the inside. I think that's job done for the Ferrari driver. Yes, it is, so a very easy move for Aaron. And that's Aero Specialist down into 2nd position, and he'll try to get back that position, as I think there was a little bit of contact between the two drivers. Aero Specialist locking up. Gosh, Aaron now with 0.4 of a second gap. He doesn't look that vulnerable anymore.
No, yeah, Aaron Jess, either this DRS is very powerful, or Aaron Jess has running very low wings, so he's passed that car very easily there. No, it's quite, as Aero Specialist loses the back end, that might allow Gazza the opportunity to get 2nd place here. Aero Specialist lost it in the exit of Beckett, so Gazzaman is going to think about sending it inside of Stowe, does he? Oh, he has to back out of it, but Aero Specialist is he's going to go wide. Gazzaman may have the opportunity to send it the inside here. No, thinks better of it, but Gazzaman and Aaron JS, they may be prospect tier drivers previously, but they really are proving that they're worth in higher tier so far.
Very brave from Gazzaman there. He was looking for the move, very opportunistic, and as you mentioned in qualifying, qualifying ain't his thing, but when it comes to racing, he is very good at it, and he's just proving it to us right before our eyes.
Yeah, obviously Gazzaman's got over 100 races, the next most for his finest tier. He's got 40 races, so Gazzaman is showing experience for sure. He's been racing since season 8, and on season 18 he's got a spinner. I believe that is Matthias. He was lapped out to Matthias. He's not having such a good debut race.
Yeah, and just wanted to say that there's many penalties being handed out here. Quite surprised that it is a short circuit. We see Scorpion, Mike, Truth, MCFC, who's actually going side by side with the Red Bull driver. He has to yield for this corner, but he might take the inside for the next. No, he doesn't. So he'll be looking for a DRS on the hangar straight to try pass the American driver and get up into 9th position, as Sir Quinniff, he fell down to order. He's down in 12th. But his teammate now, he'll try to go for the Red Bull driver. A lot of defensive work from Truth NRP. He'll have to be on the outside for this corner. And will the Williams driver make the move stick? I don't think he will, just not yet. And now let's see, he goes around the outside. Truth NRP has to give the position, and he gets another 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, there's a lot of penalties. True, we've got 9 seconds already. If he's not careful, he might get disqualified. Yeah, the two Williams guys were all the back of True RP there, and I believe so could have went for a bit of a send on his teammate and lost out there to just Mikey, but he's got by again. And these Williams guys, they seem quite even much pace. And Truth NRP, he's I wonder if he's got damage, because he seems quite slow. He's sort of fallen perfect. I wonder, or maybe he's on a bit more of a wet setup. But yeah, Truth NRP, he's not having such a good night tonight. Grew up from last season.
Yeah, maybe running a little bit high wings. He does seem pretty quick into corners, but as we saw there, he did have DRS on the MCFC, but he still couldn't really catch up to him, even in slipstream. So he definitely has higher wings than the Williams ahead of him.
Yeah, it was there, especially to caught back up on Aaron again. He's going to have to shoot a repass the RNJS. That's picked up a penalty for corner cutting, so that's knocking down the order. got a run on him. But yeah, I believe Aaron Diaz is running lower wings, because even with DRS, he's not using overtake especially, so he's the same as over battery. But I think Aaron JS is running quite a low drive himself. He's in the pits already, so he's going for the aggressive undercut.
Yeah, and he's hoping he will knock him out in traffic, as he will definitely hurt you. The driver is really close together, as there is another man in the pit. It was just Mikey, the Renault. He's just come in. So yeah, it just shows how close it is.
Yeah, it's very close, yeah. And Dexter's come out of the pits, he's come out just ahead of the leader, so Dexter will be relieved, he's not seeing them blue flags. There's a Thomas, he's closing the back of Gazman, and these front four, they're sort of starting to break away a little bit, but look at Mike, he's only beating tyres. Up to now, the beating tyres was slowly starting to become a superior tyre, and he's doing a good job, solid job in the beating tyres. Obviously, you do expect him to stay out a bit longer and do 2 stints and soften in. Gazza's pitted, but he's picked a speeding penalty, which is going to really hurt him, because his next pit stop, he's got to wait 5 seconds.
Delta and Sir Quinniff are also into the pits. So it is really the pit window now around the international Silverstone circuit, and because of the pit stop we see some gaps forming. We still see small gaps such as True NRP and MCFC within 5/10, but you're starting to see 2-second gaps, which doesn't really promote racing.
No, it doesn't. No. It's just spread out, but it will close up again. These guys, it'll be interesting. These guys on mediums, they're taking a bit of pain at the moment, but it will come back to the end of there, especially as does pit from the lead. Thomas is staying out, so Thomas is going for a slightly longer first in. So yeah, but obviously if you've been 15 laps, that is sort of effectively lap 7 of the regular Silverstone race, which is sort of the lap you normally see the guys pitting on the his MCFC has a bit of a swapper down the straight. So I don't know what's happening there, but especially coming out. And where will Aaron JS? Aaron JS should have a lead, and Gazzaman is right behind him. So these two are pulling each other along. Gazzaman's not got a penalty, so at the moment Gazzaman will be in that lead, because I believe the World Cup Air Specialists have got clean air, they will be undercut. But where Air Specialists come out, it's not pits now. Aaron JS, actually Air Specialist stays ahead, so the overcut work.
Yeah, not surprised, especially with all the dirty air and potentially drivers to get past who are on the slower coming out tyres. In my head I was thinking that the overcut might work, and Aero Specialist was thinking the same thing, and it did work out for him.
We should see Thomas. Thomas stayed out a lot longer. Thomas was racing Gazzaman. Now, has this worked out for Thomas? Has he leapfrogged some places here? Jordan might be behind the 2 ERT drivers, obviously they're working, they're doing a good job. He's got another yellow flag. I believe that might be just, I think that's 4, but yeah, Thomas is coming up pits now, and Air Specialist, I have to say, these stints worked out really well for him. Obviously, you know Air Specialist last season, what do you think of his driving last season?
Aero Specialist, he was in podium tier for a long time. He had to step down from his position around halfway through the season, but when he was at the races on his day, he was absolutely rapid. He was a bit of an underdog in most races, but he was a bit of like a Daniel Ricciardo. He just got on the podium, and yeah, he did a very good job. As that's Thomas back in the pits.
Yeah, I wonder if he's got damage, or maybe he's. If we've got a pit now, surely go hard tyres to take to the end. But yeah, they're going Ember. As we've got another spinner, that's Epic Scorpion. So, a few guys making mistakes. Just a short layout. His catch drives out tonight. Yeah, now I remember, especially from last season, I believe, was it Baku? He had really strong pace, and he just didn't really work out for him in the end.
Oh, there's some contact here at turn 2. As True NRP and the MCFC collided. MCFC lost a little bit of lost his traction, and Truth just T-boned him, and sorry for cutting you in there.
No, that's fine, that's understandable. Yeah, obviously MCFC and Truth did race the same tier last season, and they didn't really come together last season, because MCFC, he was a very quick driver, but he never got a race. He never really put a clean race together. I believe he's a guy that's got a lot of potential, but he just needs to clean his act up, because ERT Thomas has retired from the race, so He's retired. It's a virtual safety car, so the likes of Bryn Mike and Hooky should surely pit. They're going to stay out though, so they get an advantage here, but Brian Mike's staying out. I guess they're not his strategy yet, but if I was him, I'd have pitted.
Yeah, it's essentially a free pit stop for the two Alfa Romeos, and I wonder if anyone further down will pit in, such as Killplane. Depends if the VSC is still out when he decides to come in. But yeah, it's quite surprising that they didn't decide to pit in and stayed out on the mediums. I wonder how far they'll be trying to take them.
Yes. I think they could try and take him another 5 or 6 laps to try to get halfway, and then just do 2 even stints and softs. That's what maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yes, now the battle for the provisional lead is RNJS and Aero Specialist. And RNJS, he was very rapid on the straight, caught up to his Aero Specialist. He was very vulnerable at the end of the VSC, especially with no DRS, as Aaron got really lucky with how the virtual safety car ended right before the DRS straight.
Yeah, they look very close, and Gaz is closing again, so it's got 3. Jordan 6th place, the net 4th, a little bit behind, and Jordan in his previous interview, he did say he does enjoy this track, and he hasn't raced for a few weeks, so it's a bit rusty, but he's doing a solid job so far. I have to say Delta in 7th place, a spinner there, I believe that is Delta. I know it's a bit of lag on my passes. Hooky is finally pitting, and his teammates staying out, so the two Alpha Male guys presumably are communicating with each other and on the same strategy.
Yeah, I think Hooky, he has to come in a little bit earlier. We saw the overcut working, so feeling that the first driver got a bit of priority there.
Yeah, whereas these front 3 are really coming at each other now, and Aaron JS, we did see his straight line speed earlier. I think if he's winning a couple of attempts of air, especially to get by easily, he's using overtaking the corners quite surprisingly, and he's going to get a run here. But Air Specialist gets really good traction, but Aaron JS slows down the straight, and I believe Air Specialist will. Can he defend it though? Aaron JS is looking really close here now. He's had to back out of it, and Gazerman is really watching brief behind, lost a bit of time this lap. But yeah, these front 3 are battling really well, but yeah, Air Specialist, the only guy without a penalty, so Air Specialist he's leading, and he can afford to maybe be a little bit less aggressive. Aaron JS has to get by, and Gazman got 5 seconds up go. I think he may go a bit more aggressive on strategy to try and get some clean air.
Yeah, he might do. RNJS now really close. Aero Specialist losing the car a little on the exit, so that definitely doesn't help. It does bring Gazman closer to him. RNJS, he just looks like a Ferrari from 2019, just really quick on the straights. Maybe not the best in the corners, but you don't really need corner speed on down first if you have such a big advantage in the straights.
No, especially a track like this where it is a lot of straights. There's not many corners this track, so yeah, Aaron JS, he could be looking very good at Monza, because that's they do really well at Monza, and around here it's similar. There's not many corners around here, and all the high speed corners are not really on this version. We sort of skip them, so yeah, low downforce is definitely the way to go tonight around here.
I wonder if he'll copy that across the entirety of the season, and as he is closer than ever to the McLaren driver, and I think it will be a very easy move for the Ferrari driver. Yes, it is. But now Aero Specialist, he's going to try to get the move on him, but he just can't quite get it, and the orange outfit goes back into 10th position as there is a spinner down in sector 1, Sir Quinniff.
Yeah, he's spun it big time in Abbey. He's gone off again. So Quinniff is. I wouldn't be surprised if his tyres are overheated, because if you have a big spin like he has, your rear tyres will be red hot, and so Quinniff, well, he's going to have to get his tyres back down to temperature. But yeah, so Quinniff is having a solid race up to then, and then yeah, the car, them tyres are definitely overheated.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Koenig. He's hoping for a better season than last season. As you mentioned, only 1 point, and it was on on the season finale. So yeah, it was definitely a difficult season for the British driver, and he'll try to improve on that. But now Aero Specialist, he made a mistake, and Gazaman, he's down the inside of him, and will he make a move? No, he doesn't. He yields back for this corner, and he'll probably try to get the RS on the uh, Northern Irish driver and get him into Stove.
Yeah, Aerospace is locked up there. He's not looking comfortable on there, and Gazman should be an easy move down the straight. It overtaken, yeah. Aerospace is not really fighting this. I think he knows it's over. And yeah, he's going to just back out of it there. And he's got a penalty now as well. So all these guys have got penalties. The only guy without a penalty is Hooky. And Matthias as well.
I mean, that could elevate them a few positions into race. If you were Aero Specialist, you'd be praying that you didn't have any penalties, as from third to first, that would be pretty nice at the end of the race. You gotta be very careful with these strict corner cutting on any circuit.
Yeah, it was we're in that battling. I saw Epic Scorpion. He spun it in the link section, and he's had to come for a wing change. He's gone hard tires then. So yeah, been a lot of spins tonight. I don't know if it's due to the layout or maybe drivers being a bit rusty.
Feeling that the drivers are a little bit rusty, but Gazaman, he's down the inside. He caught RNJS sleeping a little. RNJS loses attraction at the exit of Stowe. That elevates Gazaman into first position down the inside of Club. And RNJS, he has to go back to second, as there is another spinner of Hooky, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. And that's him down into 11th position.
Yeah, the team up spinach drives racing now. It's clever from Gazaman. He at the end of Stowe, he switched back and had the inside into Vale, and he was always getting the move done. So Gazaman shows first gap yet again. What a nice move there, and he's pulled a gap on Aaron. Aaron has not had the best lap, but it's going to be safer now, especially. But Gazaman, he needs to pull a gap with this penalty he's got, but it's going to be very hard for him to break the DRS.
Yeah, I mean, especially with RNJS's straight line speed, it will be very difficult. Aero Specialist could get caught out a little. He does have the newest set of medium tyres, but just the straight line speed of the two in front of him, that just completely well, yeah, he just completely loses time there.
Yeah, also, when you watch out for Ivor, he's in 4th place. He's on a fresh set of softs. And you know, the pace he's going at, he could be in this league battle very shortly. Obviously, he did do the different strategy. He started on the medium, so he's got that tyre out the way. And Ivon maybe a factor later in the race. That's one to keep an eye out on for sure.
Yeah, especially with the three ahead of him just battling it out for position, we could see him even potentially get a podium, as Gazaman, he is getting closer and closer to break that DRS, as I imagine RNJS had a small mistake in Sector 3, which also helped Aero Specialist catch right back up to him.
Yeah, that was Aaron had to use a bit of an overtake down there to save DRS, and I think he's lost it now. He's using overtake now, but he's lost DRS, and now Aero Specialist not really anywhere near, but yeah, Gazaman has broke DRS, but Aaron he's just about in that second gap, and Gaza's looking comfortable at the moment, but I think Aaron's maybe a cork in the bottle for Aero Specialist.
Yeah, and I wonder if he'll go for the overcut again, because that did work out for him, and he can theoretically go for the longest out of these two drivers, as that is Mike with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So if this was a normal race weekend, he would have 1 point to his name, an additional one. So I mean, it's looking great for the Alfa Romeo driver.
Yeah, he's gained half second lead lap. Half second round here is massive. He's gaining a lot of time in his leaders, and if they keep fighting like Aerospace JS into Stowe, then he's going to be back up them very shortly. And this is allowing Gaz to pull away. This battling between RNJS and Aerospace has got another spinner. I believe that is Matthias again. He's not having such a good race. He's in the gravel trap there, so one for the racing point man.
Yeah, that won't help. Aero Specialist, probably if he was side by side with RNJS, he would have to yield. But now Matthias, that RNJS had to take action. He had to go on the grass to avoid the stricken racing point on the racing line, which allows Aero Specialist to catch right back up to the Ferrari driver, and he will have the advantage here on the hangar straight. Overtake mode engaged, DRS wide open, and that's him ahead of RNJS. But I don't think it will be for too long, as we saw Aaron, he just gets right back on him.
That straight line speed is incredible, and this has allowed Mike's been 3 seconds to Aaron, so that mistake from Aaron and the overtake there specialist that gave him further, and yeah, Aaron's lucky there because obviously he did have the recovering racing point and Aaron had to take the grass. Obviously the cars do go some lapping, but sometimes when you know it's hard to tell, you want to be safe than sorry, and Aaron was playing it safe there, and it's cost him, and now Aaron pulled a second, so I think Aaron may be struggling with this set of tyres.
Yeah, I have a feeling after that, going onto the grass, the tyres might be a little bit dirty, and that definitely doesn't help. But as you mentioned before, the drivers have an instinct. If they see a car on the racing line, they will probably try to avoid it because the game might glitch, it might not ghost, and some of these drivers don't play with ghosting on, for example, in the Grand Prix mode or things like that, so they do have to be careful.
Yeah, they do. It's keep playing here and then it's playing some fresh set off season on the back of Sequinif. I think this would be a very move for the outside man on the Williams down the hangar straight. This would be quite easy. We do see that DRS is particularly powerful, I think, and yeah, he's got through there quite easily. As the leaders aren't far too behind these two fighting, so there'll be a bit of lap traffic Gaz deal over there, especially since he's starting to close the gap on Gaz a little bit. And RNJS he's dropping off, and Mike is catching, so Mike could be on the podium tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a battle between the two Ferrari engined cars, and RNJS, I think he'll surely be fitting in quite soon. 20 lap world mediums, that's around what the two Alfa Romeos did. If I'm not mistaken, Bryn Mike, he did around 22 laps on the mediums, then went on to the softs, so they'll definitely be pitting in pretty soon.
Yeah, so with the undercut truck, he's going to take the pain now, and he didn't really get the game because the overcut was the key around here. Such a short lap and so much traffic, and yeah, Aaron JS he's sort of falling off there, especially starting to close on Gaz again. So yeah, my theory of Aaron being top and bottom was proven correct, as Mike is now within DRS of Aaron, so Mike, I believe, will be in third place very shortly, but we have seen Aaron have that really good straight line speed.
Yeah, I wonder how Mike matches up to that. He might be running low wings as well, who knows. I haven't really seen him overtaking anyone, especially Aaron, but it does look like he's catching up quite heavily to a Ferrari driver. And yeah, Mike, the Welsh driver, he is looking very good, and he could get a podium, as that's Aaron JS into the pit, follows in Aero Specialist, so that was a pretty late call from Aaron.
Yeah, these tyres were shot. He had to come in and just, yeah. Obviously, I think he was seeing what Aaron was doing. He didn't really do any more time about McLaren, man. Aaron did look more on the soft tyres as Chunder's coming to the pits. He's got pit lane speeding penalty. And obviously, this is the biggest final stop, so that will get added onto his race time. And Gazman, don't forget, when Gazman pits, he's in the lead at the moment, but he's going to serve his 5-second penalty. So I believe Air Specialist will come out in the lead after Gazza pits, unless Gazza does something incredible in lap. Gazza's in now, so he's going to cover off the two leaders.
Yes, now that is Ivan Bryn Mike, he is into the pits, as is Gazaman, so we'll see how close they are to the rest of the grid. Of course, Gazaman, he does have the 5-second time penalty that you mentioned, and oh, sorry, yeah. So I think he'll drop some positions. Will he get in front of Bryn Mike? Yes, he does. So I'm going with Iverbryn Mike's POV. I'm going to see how close he is to the rest of the grid. Aero Specialist, he gets in front. Will he be close to RNJS though?
Tight. It's going to be very tight.
Oh.
I was going to be around the outside here. It's going to be side by side. Aaron's going to have the momentum and the warmer tyres. He does get through, but Mike will have the DRS, but his tyres won't be temperature yet, so he may not get the best traction. But mind you, he does get good traction there. Aaron does get a penalty, but they're going to both have DRS. But Mike's got a good run there. He's running overtake, Aaron is not, and that allows the Alpha Male man to get through, and he's in the next second place. We'll find around outside though, is Aaron. He's going to become the inside. Going to come the inside for club, but no, he has to back out of it. And Mike, good overtake there, he around the outside, and I wonder if I'm really not using the overtakes. He's got 97% battery. He could have used a bit there to defend his position.
Yes, Mike, he is a little bit low on the fuel and DRS. We see the fuel light yellow and only 37% for Mike. So, I mean, compared to RNJS with no signal on the fuel and basically 100% of his ERS yet to use, he does look like the favourite to get that third position. But now, will he be close enough to go for the move? No, he isn't in the so he'll have to wait another lap. And yeah, through the hanger straight, he does look like the favourite.
Yeah, there's Jordan in the yet to pit these, so Cunningham and Jordan have still got to another stop, especially. And Gazzaman is now starting to gain again on these guys, and Gazzaman, his penalty's been wiped because it was a speeding penalty. So Gazzaman, he could jump up some places here. See, he does keep it clean, as I mentioned earlier, and well, at the moment it's going to jump into second place.
And just wanted to mention the penalty situation as you were going on about Gazzaman not having any penalties. Oh, sorry, RNJS, he's down the inside of Mike, and Mike, he's going to try to go for a switchback maneuver on Aaron. It doesn't quite work out, and he'll have to stay behind him. And now, with penalties, Specialist 3 seconds, RNJS 9 seconds, Mike with a whopping 12 seconds of penalties. So Aaron, I don't think he even needed to make that move. And Gazzaman with 0, so could get that second position on penalties.
Yeah, he could. And Gazzaman now he's 5 seconds off the lead, and he could stay behind these guys, but I think Gazzaman want to pass these guys, maybe go for the win, because their specialist got 3 second penalties, and if Gazzaman can pressure the McLaren man into a mistake, then he will get the win. So Gazzaman, I do believe he will be trying to pass these guys, as Jordan's come out in 6th place, and Jordan, he's had quite a race, but he's on much fresher softs than everyone else around him, and Jordan, I think 5th probably his maximum, and he's going to be 5th place for Jordan, and yeah, everybody is 2 stops now, apart from...
I imagine Kilblain, he'll be going for another as he is on 12 Lappool softs.
Oh yeah, you won't get them to the end. Well, if you do, it'd be a good treat. If you do, they'll be very much second hand.
Yeah, now going back up to battle in the front, it's Gazzaman, he'll go for the move on the Alfa Romeo, and now down the inside of Stowe. Can't tell you how many times we've said that this stream, but it's where all the overtaking is happening.
Yeah, I think because now, leading on to the hanger straight, it's slowish corner, it's a traction zone rather than the high speed corner. I think that is allowing a lot more overtaking, because a lot of guys, they've struggled coming out of that loop link section, and I think that's allowing the overtakes to happen more common than what we do see in real life. As RJS has a moment there, and Gazzaman will surely get second place off of Ryan, man. He just has to get a decent exit on there. RJS has really good traction, but Gazzaman will have the DRS, and he will surely use his overtake. Let's see how he can do it now. RJS is holding position. Gazzaman will send it down the inside here, really. He has to back out of it. Will Gazzaman be able to switch back? No, he won't. RJS just survive for another lap, but RJS is feeling the pressure.
He definitely is, and yeah, Gazzaman, he'll be trying to pressure him into a mistake and potentially lock up through the loop, and yeah, that would definitely put him on the back foot and give Gazzaman well, a good run into the hanger straight and into Stowe. So now going through the loop, Let's see how it is. RNJS, he gets a good exit. So let's see, will Gazman be close enough? I think he will be. Down the hanger straight. Looks like a very easy move for Gazman. But now RNJS, he'll try to go for a switchback maneuver on him potentially. He does not. And that's Gazman in second. And he'll definitely be hunting down Aero Specialist to try to get that first position.
Yeah, it's a 6-second gap at the moment, and especially 3-second penalties. So especially it's alright for the moment, but if he gets any more penalties and Gazman's definitely in play, no clean air, we'll be able to see if Gazza is quicker. RNGS is the only chance to hang on here, and RNGS just not have the traction of the Red Bull. He's stuck in the traction zones, and I think that's vision done, because RNGS, as quick as he's down the straight, I don't think he'll gain that much down the straight. But he's looking quick, he's easy to overtake, he knows this is probably his last chance, but Gazzaman is in the clear now.
Yeah, and if I was RNJS, I wouldn't really be battling for a position as he goes really wide through Stowe. I mean, he does have a 9-second time penalty compared to Gazzaman's 0-second penalty. So, yeah, Gazzaman really looking like the favourite for today, for tonight's win.
Yeah, he is, yeah, and he's gained a couple of attempts on there, especially that last lap. And if he keeps doing that, he'll definitely win the race, because if he attempts in this sort of layout, it's sort of like half a second on the regular track. So yeah, Gazzaman is showing strong pace. RNGS is still hanging on to the DRS, and this may allow Aaron, this may help Aaron in his battle with Mike. If you can hang on to that DRS and Gazza for a few more laps, then you can pull away from the Alfa Romeo man. As we've got Dexter and Delta fighting for 10th, 9th place. Dex is very close to the Haas man. See if if we can get through these guys in single match tyres. These guys going to be fighting a low race. Dexter's got a run, he's got DRS. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for the outside of Stowe. You get good move on the outside though, he does, and Delta's going to fight the inside line, but now Dex's got the inside here, he's going to send it down the inside. Delta's going to fight around the outside, but no chance there for Delta. He's lost his position and Dexter's going to head, but Dexter makes a little bit of a mistake into club. That might allow Delta to have a run into the first corner, but overtaking the first corner is very difficult, and Dexter, I think, has got the position. Now what can he do? RNJS is very close to Gazzaman, but Gazzaman does hang on again. Dexter locks up though, that might allow Delta to repass here. These two have seen quite even match pace all race, they've been battling all the way along, and Delta's got a really good exit out of the rig section, and that might allow him to repass. He's considering the DRS. If you leave match pace, then Dexter does defend the outside line, and allows Delta to have the inside line side by side, and Delta's going to get the move done. What about Dexter? Dexter's still there though, he's going to be inside yet again. These guys to be fighting for 2 laps side by side. And a bit of contact though, Delta does have a bit of contact there, and Dexter does hang out ahead. And Dexter's got the move done, but Delta, yet again, it's still on there. These two have been side by side for about 3 laps.
I mean, it is great racing between the Haas and the Mercedes driver. I didn't think I'd ever be saying that, but this does allow MCFC to catch up, and it could be a 3-way battle for a 9th position. And this could get very interesting, especially with Delta and Dexter both having barely any ERS to use, while the Williams behind them has plenty of it, 60%.
You have to say that MCFC did a good job in the more mediums, hanging all these guys with best off. I have to say, he did have a mistake early on, but I think his fundamental pace is there. He just needs to cut on the mistakes.
As now I think Deval has died down a little. And going back up to the top RNJS, he is still right at the back of Gazzaman. And Gazzaman, he tried to get past RNJS and Mike, it did work out for him, but he just can't catch up to the McLaren driver, Aero Specialist. The gap is still 4.9 seconds, and that is, I don't think that is enough for him to get the win, at least on penalties.
No, it isn't. He's going to have to make a mistake there, especially now for Gaz to win the race. With only 3 laps left, and 3 laps is sort of like, well, it's more like 2 laps, because there especially is coming around the final few corners now, so he's going to start his pull up very shortly. And Gazzaman, it's been a solid race for him, but I believe he's going to fall just short by around 1.5 seconds, remember 2 seconds. His air specialist going to complete start his penultimate lap now, which will effectively be a full lap of a normal track. RNGS is hanging on there. He's looking good to keep his third place. I think this DRS has definitely helped the to pull ahead of the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, and just wanted to mention the position changes. The man who's the biggest winner, I mean the two men that are the biggest winners, both the AlphaTauris, Kilplane going up 6 positions and Trunders going up 8 positions. So well done to them, and they absolutely sliced their way through the field.
Yeah, a bit like Yuki Tsunoda, obviously, he did. So yeah, the AlphaTauri guys, yeah, obviously, AlphaTauri is a car I quite like. It's quite an attractive car, and then them guys, obviously, I believe Chunders was evaluating a potential teammate for this season. I believe Kip Lane may become his teammate. 'Cause I think he's shown a good performance there, and I believe Chunders will be happy with his teammate's performance. They're starting his final lap now, and this has been quite. Ever since the pit stop, he's just been in complete control. And Gazzaman, maybe without that speed penalty, may have been there with him, but Air Specialist, this is quite a dominant drive for such a short track.
Yeah, he did get the overcut. He did come out ahead in the pit stop phase, and now going through the last few corners into club. And it will be Aero Specialist winning the pre-season race here, and technically he is the first point tier winner. Gazman gets 2nd position, Aaron JS gets 3rd position, last podium position. Then Bryn Mike, he gets 4th position, so great drive from him. I wasn't expecting that. Jordan, he jumps up a position from Mike due to penalties, and if you could run through the rest of the grid.
Yeah, Mikey, Kip Lane is 6th, Mikey 7th, Chunders in 8th, Dexter in 9th place, Delta in 10th, MCFC is 11th. He's got a lot of penalties, so Hooky will jump him up to 11th place. And Chief NRP is our last guy in lead lap, and he's got a lot of penalties as well. So, yeah, and we've got Scorpion, Crinif, Matthias, all, and we have one DNF. So, yeah, quite. Yeah, see, a short track, so it's quite a different race, but there's a lot of action there. It was quite a decent race, quite a decent battle at the front, but in the end, Air Specialist just took command at the final half of the race.
Yeah, and just wanted to mention MCFC 33 lap pole mediums at the end, if I read that correctly. So he absolutely stretched them out, and I mean, well done to him for keeping his tires alive for so long.
Yeah, I don't think them tires were past the MOT though, so yeah, he did quite good there. He had decent pace and all, but he just needs a yeah. So I think he'd be happy with that final stint. He recovered quite well there as our DNF. It was ERT Thomas, who obviously retired on quite early on. So let's now do our drive day nominations. Who are you going to go for?
I am gonna go for Trunders. Bit of I mean, the game picked that he is driver of the day. He went from 15th to 8th. He did an amazing job going through the field. And my question for him is, I need to think of one now. How was it going through the field, I guess? I mean, can't really think of anything. It's a great drive from Trunders. It's just can't really think of a question.
That's fine. I'll try and word it for you there, but yeah, my nomination with Gazzaman, who obviously because he's obviously new tier and he didn't get pick a penalty, and I think Gazzaman showed really good race class there. He showed experience, and he did a good job there. I'm going to ask him, how was it like racing in a tier that wasn't the bottom tier?
That's going to be a very interesting question. Maybe a little bit, I mean, insulting that he's been in the lowest tier for so long.
Oh, he's a mate of mine. I'm sure he'll understand what I'm asking. It's asked in a nice way because it's good to see drivers do progressing up the tiers, and also Aaron as well. They both have 2 really good strong races, and obviously next week our season starts properly, and we'll be at the Montreal circuit in Canada. What's your thoughts on that circuit?
Personally, it's my favourite track. So hopefully we'll see very good racing there. World of Champions, that could catch some people out, especially in qualifying. And unlike real life recently, hopefully it provides some amazing racing.
Well, for sure. And obviously, it's quite interesting because like Silverstone's got such a long pit lane, but Canada's probably the shortest pit lane. So yeah, it's quite interesting sort of reverse pit lane moves. But yeah, this should be a good season. Obviously, the teammate negotiations will be completed over the weekend. So next week we will have all the drivers in the correct teams, and yeah, I think this is. I don't think I showed the true. I think this track maybe didn't show the true picture of the tier because obviously a few guys did get caught out. But I think we're going to be who's going to do well. Who's going to do well this season?
Yeah, it was a very good representation of the speed of certain drivers, and I really enjoyed it. I think you did too. It was great commentating over it. And if you have any last words for the stream?
Oh yeah, so do subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Obviously, we will have certain streams on Twitch this season, so do check that out and do follow our social media on Next Level Racing and on 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 Twitter where the Drive Day poll will be out tomorrow as I'm responsible for that season, so I'll make sure I'll try and get them all out at the same time.
So yeah, with the driver of the day started and the race, being started. Thanks for watching the stream. Hopefully you enjoyed it. As I said before, we really enjoyed it, and see you next week.